Hi, my name is Elisa Buffini, and I'm the Director of Language Services for Catholic Charities of Louisville. In this video, we're going to look at how to request an on-site interpreter. When you log in, you'll receive an invitation from Catholic Charities inviting you to join our interpreter network. Once you accept that invitation and set up your email and password, you'll go to this site, cclouinterpretmanager.com/app/account/sign in. This link is also on the Catholic Charities website, so no worries. You'll enter your email address here. I'm going to log into our requester account as a demonstration. And then you'll enter the password that you just set up. Now, when you log in, you'll notice that you log in directly to your dashboard. That is your immediate landing page. And what this is showing you is a snapshot or an overview of the appointments that you have coming up in the current week. As you can see, we only have one appointment scheduled right now for the 4th of February. You'll also notice that this appointment is listed in green. That means that an interpreter has accepted this assignment. Now, working with us, it's important to note that all of the interpreters we work with us on a contract basis. This means that they have the ability to accept or decline any appointment they choose. That's why the color coding is going to be important here. And so what now we're going to do is create a new appointment. So from our screen, just under dashboard, we're going to go to appointments. We'll click appointments and we'll click the words create a new appointment. The first thing that it asks for is the date. So we're going to set this appointment up. We'll just double click it and it's going to bring up a calendar for you. And so we're going to set this up for the 4th, just like the one that we have in the list already. And we're going to put in our start time. Let's put in 11 a.m. Now, you can either enter an ending time or you can select a duration. My suggestion here would be just to select your duration because that will automatically calculate the end time for you. And so all of the on-site appointments that Catholic Charities offers, we charge a minimum of 2 hours. However, if you know that you don't need an interpreter for the full 2 hours, you'll just go here to adjust the duration. The minus sign for fewer hours and the plus sign for more hours. So right here, we've adjusted it to 1 hour and 15 minutes. Moving on, the default language is already set to English because our interpreters get assignments sent to them based on their language pairs. So that's what we're going to be entering here. So English is already set and we just have to select our target language. Now, because I'm using the demonstration account, I have a really, really long list of languages here to choose from. When you log in, a list that you'll have to choose from is very, very trimmed down, and it's based on just the on-site interpreters that we have available. So if I don't have anybody that I work with who is available to speak, let's say, Croatian, this option is not going to show up. But let's just go ahead and pick a language. We'll pick French. And the communication type is always going to be on-site consecutive. Unless you are trying to schedule a video or a telephonic appointment with an interpreter for later on, and really there's a different way to go about it. So for this training purpose, we're only going to be looking at on-site consecutive. These other options are really for in-house things that we do as an administrative team, and that they're not going to show up for you in your list. So select on-site consecutive. The next thing that we're going to enter here is the location. You have to be specific about where you want the interpreter to report for this assignment. And so I'm going to enter this, I'm going to enter our work address here, 2911 South 4th Street. And you'll see you get a drop-down list of possible locations. This must match, okay? if you don't have a matching address in here or one that is considered a valid address, this pulls addresses from Google, which is why we use Chrome for this. Our interpreters use this information to pinpoint exactly their mileage and how to find you. And so it will need to be an address that's valid. So please go ahead and enter whatever information here that will help them find you, your suite number, that sort of thing. The next thing here is a subject line. And so if this is a new patient, whatever short introduction you want to put there. New patient consultation, whatever the description might be. Following that, we're going to enter your consumer information. So this is a place where you can start to build some data for yourself. Only you and people in your organization will have access to this specific information. You'll enter your consumer information by clicking the consumer box and selecting from the drop-down here. We've normally been using the words private person or minor. So minor being children, private person being a patient. Now, in order to build your list for your organization, you will need to select this box here that says Save to Consumer List. And this is going to, like I said, begin creating a list of the patients that your organization works with regularly, so that when you go to schedule future appointments for them, their name will come up in a drop-down list and you'll just be able to select them from that list. So you'll enter their name. And any other identifying information that you want to enter about them. Many organizations ask us to call the patient to remind them of the appointment. If you want us to do that, you're going to have to make sure that you give us the phone number. A lot of organizations track their customers or their patients by the date of birth. If you'd like to enter that, you can enter that here. We don't control any of this information, by the way. This is all information that your organization controls. And so if you don't put anything here, we're not going to know who the patient is. So it's really important to add the consumer here. Whether you save their information or not, it's important to add it. Again, if you want us to contact the person to let them know that, or remind them of the appointment or something like that, you will need to let us know if we can contact them and when you'd like to have that. Or, no, I'm sorry, we don't want that. If it's okay to contact this person. We'll generally leave a voicemail on their answering machine if they don't answer. In the description box beneath that, this is where you'll enter some more detailed information for the interpreter about what the appointment is about. So let's say up here we have new patient consultation. And this is, I'm just making this up. So new patient, meeting to discuss new hip replacement. However you would want to put that. So this is the information that you're providing for the interpreter who's taken the appointment. This is to make sure that the interpreter knows what the subject matter is and they come prepared for the appointment. Under the requester information, because this is a demo account, this is not showing up as a default, but generally speaking, when you're requesting an appointment, your name and email address is going to show up here in the requester information. The recurrence, if this is a one-time appointment, you'll leave it at one time. That's the default setting. If it is one that is going to recur every week, for example, if this were physical therapy and you're having the patient come in at the same time and day every week, you'll enter weekly and then you'll enter how many weeks you want that to take place. For this purpose, we're going to do a one-time appointment. Service delivery or service classification section down here, that's really for internal use. So once you've filled out all this information, we're done and we can click Save. And now we get a message saying that our appointment was created. Now you'll notice that since the appointment has been created, now we have this yellow bar across the top. And what this means is that this appointment has now been broadcast to all of the interpreters who meet the qualifications for the appointment. That's done automatically. Some organizations have interpreters that they've worked with before and they would like to repeat working with them. So if that's the case and you have a specific interpreter that you would like to request, you'll click this preferred interpreter box and immediately you're going to get this drop-down list of all the interpreters who have taken assignments with your group before. If there's one that you want to work with, you simply click their name. What this does is that will give this interpreter the first choice of this appointment. So rather than sending this appointment to everybody on the list who qualifies, it's only going to send it to, for example, Giles. Okay? Giles is going to have 4 hours to respond to this request. If he doesn't take the appointment or accept the appointment in that 4-hour window, then this appointment is then going to automatically be distributed or broadcast to all of the interpreters who fit the description for the appointment. Now, at this point, you're done with setting up the appointment. And we're going to go back to the dashboard. And from the dashboard, we'll see that we have this one appointment that's pending that is scheduled. When we click our appointment button, this is going to show us by default where we have the month highlighted here. This is going to show us all the appointments that we have pending. And we can look at the color coding to tell what their status is. So for example, we have one that's scheduled, one that's been broadcasted and we're waiting for confirmation from an interpreter on that one, and 2 that have been canceled. Apparently those are not needed anymore. So you can see this one is the one that we just put in with the new patient consultation for Jane Doe. And you see that one has been broadcasted. So we're still waiting for interpreter confirmation on that one. We've already gotten interpreter confirmation on this one here that's Spanish, just so that you can see the difference. Now, let's say that Jane Doe calls and says, well, I'm not going to come. I have to change the date. I'm sick, whatever. And she doesn't give you a new date. So you need to log in and let us know as soon as you possibly can that the appointment is going to have to be canceled. And so what you'll do at that point is log in. You'll come into your dashboard as usual. You're going to look at the appointments that you have pending. And you're going to select this one from your list where it says open. And now what you're going to do is click this little menu, this little 3-bar menu, 3-dot menu here, and you're going to click cancel. And the system says, are you sure you want to cancel? And you say yes. And now you have to select the reason for the cancellation. And so for this demonstration, we're just going to click not necessary now, because today is only the 1st and the appointment is set up for February 4th. I realize I'm dating this recording, by the way. However, because we're not canceling same day, we're just going to say that it's not necessary now and submit it. That doesn't require any additional information. However, if your organization would like to keep more detailed information on that, you can certainly enter it either in that cancellation box, or you can create a note on the appointment and you'll be able to see these going forward. This note gets sent directly to the LSC administrator, which is my group of employees, and it remains with the appointment. So if you need to look back at any time to say, wow, that was canceled, you'll be able to see it here. So I hope this has helped you. Again, this is just how to set up an appointment for an on-site visit. If you'd like to have more information about using our remote services, like for example, scheduling telephone or video interfaces with your clients for a future date, or using on-demand services, those are going to be in a separate training. Thank you so much for watching.